Baruch Hashem. We're speaking about truth. Speaking about truth. We're speaking about being people of Emes, human beings of truth, to connect to the midah of Emes. And we said that Emes is coming from three of the names of God: Kel, Elokim, and Havayah, which means the Emes of what those names represent. That Emes, that truth flowing into the four parts of speech. And we said that each of those names represent. Kel represents the powers of prayer, that Hashem called us Kel, so to speak, as if you could even say those words. But He called us Kel, which means He gave us the power of changing reality through our prayers, and therefore never make prayer a small thing. The Gemara says, "Eilu dvarim she'omdim beruma shel olam." These are the things that stand in the highest heavens. Ubnei adam mezalzelin behen. But people they make fun of it. They make it cheap. Make it zol. Havi omer zeh tefillah. This is davening. Davening is the highest thing, and we make it like mincha. Oh, I gotta daven mincha. Chapa mincha. Like I once heard, many people don't want to daven, they want to have davened. But the power, God forbid, it's great to have davened, obviously. But we want to daven. So one of the ways to want to daven is if I know the power of Kel, and I know the power of Kel means that we can change reality through our prayers, and that Hashem gave that godly power into us, and we know the Emes, the truth of that, then davening becomes a much more powerful experience. We said the next name was Elokim. Baruch atah Adonai. Eloheinu melech ha'olam she'akol niyeh b'dvaroi. So the next name is Elokim. Where do we go to today? Colombia again?
Back to Mexico.
Mexico.
There's still some
sparks in Mexico.
Sparks with,
Thank you. So Elokim, we said, means Torah. Because Elokim, translated as Rav, like a teacher, that Moshe Rabbeinu will be the Rav, will be the teacher to Aaron, and Aaron HaKohen will be the mouthpiece. And it's the emes of knowing that when you have Torah, you have guidance. The truth of that. You're not all verblunderd. You know what that means? Verblunderd. It means verblunderd. It means you've lost your way. You've lost your way. Walk around. Go around the streets. Go around Times Square. Maybe. I'm hoping it's the billboards there have Daf Yomi playing. I think it's a great PR for Daf Yomi. Somebody said that you can buy an ad there, I think.
My dad once bought an ad.
And
Hostages.
how much was it? Somebody told me it was like $1 million. Like $1 million, that's like nothing to buy an ad. It's like, no, that's one time for the ad to be there. I was thinking like $1 million for Daf Yomi to just be playing there all the time. It's nothing. And then they said, no, it was like for a day or something. Okay, so we need to put our money in the right places. If we had Daf Yomi up there, do you imagine Shi'urim just popping on those screens? Divrei Torah. Could you imagine Rabbi Dovber just popping on those screens? Gewaldig. To provide guidance. So Elokim, which is Rav, which means to teach, means to guide. And the truth of knowing that my life is guided through Torah. And then we said, Yud Kei Vav Kei is Shidduchim. And the pasuk says, Me Hashem yotza davar. This came from the Lord. That Hashem brought the Shidduch. That Me Hashem, Me Yud Kei Vav Kei yotza davar. That even Lavan and Besuel recognize that from Hashem is this Shidduch. The Shidduch of Rivka and Yitzchak. And then we explained that every single thing that Hashem is bringing us in our life is a shidduch. When you meet a person on the street, when you see somebody, Hashem is making shidduchim all the time. And to know that there's an emes of why you're meeting this person at this time in this place Me Hashem, me Yud Ke Vav Ke Yotza Hadavar. So we said that's the Emes of Shidduchim, that Hashem is organizing your life. And things don't become bidyevet anymore, like, oh, why did I have to meet that guy there? He always gets on my nerves. Well, you know what? That was ideal. And he could teach you something. You could teach him something. You could help each other. There's something there to teach you. Me Hashem, Yud Ke Vav Ke Yotza Hadavar. So we said truth is shining through these three names of God into the four elements of speech. And now we're about to go into Ois Hey. And we're about to say that the real completion of speech, which we also said comes from boy meets girl, because the Nashim got Tisha Kabin of speech, and the men got Meiser, one, and it's still not Shalom. You have to put it together. That 9 plus 1 equals 10 out of 10. And that's the shleimus of the dibur, that's the emes of the dibur. So now we're going to say that really the full shleimus of the dibur is through Lashon Kodesh, through Hebrew. We said this doesn't mean modern Hebrew, this means Lashon Kodesh. And there's some Mefarshim that say that Lashon Kodesh doesn't even mean Hebrew letters, but it means any speech that is holy, which could be in Lashon Laz, but it means you're speaking Divrei Torah. You're giving people Chizzuk. You're not speaking stam. Your speech is used to build the world. The simple pshat, though, in Rabbeinu is Lashon Kodesh means Hebrew. Now we need a bit of a hakdama, and I saw from Rav Kivak, Shlita, the great Rav Kivak, a very Rabbi Itchimar's Rabbi, essentially, which in Breslov and in many in Yon, what do we know about tzaddikim and their relationships? But Rav Kivak, in his Shi'ur Mantinyana Beis, so he felt that in order to understand this section, you have to kind of go into a whole background of why Lashon Kodesh is special. So he brings things there which are really found very explicitly in the second book of the Tanya, Shar Yichud Ve'amunah, where he quotes from the Baal Shem, which is really from the Medrash, Hashem devarcha nitza b'shamayim. That always Hashem, your words are in the heavens. Nitzav b'shamayim, are standing in the heavens. Simple pshat is when Hashem decrees something, that is standing in the heavens. It's as if to say that that will be as solid as God is. That very idea will continue, will have continuity. If God says a decree, it will continue. The good decrees. You know that it's like in the bank, like they say. You know, nowadays I don't know how safe that is. It's in the bank. Okay. Anyways, but let's say that it's what they used to call in the bank. Maybe you'd say nowadays it's in your pocket. A little bit better. It's in your pocket. So when Hashem says His word, it's nitza b'shamayim, this is going to go on forever. But the Medrash and the Baal Shem Tov expanded on this, and the Balatanya really explodes this idea, where he says, La'olam devarcha, let's slow down the pasuk from King David, La'olam, forever, devarcha, Hashem, your words, nitzav, are standing up, shamayim. Your words are actually what is keeping Shemayim going, is powering Shemayim. There would be no such thing as a heavens if God wasn't constantly powering the heavens through speaking it into reality. And how does He speak it into reality? Through the 22 Hebrew letters. La'olam Hashem devarcha nitza b'shamayim. That Hashem, you are standing up the heavens, your words are standing up. They're keeping the heavens moving. And speech, we know, means, what do you mean God speaks? Like the way we speak? It means that just like when we speak, we take that which is hidden inside of us and we reveal it to the outside, to another. If I want to get to know Yaakov, so we have to talk, we have to speak. I share things from my inner world that are concealed to him until I say it. And you share things from your inner world with me. And The deeper the conversation is, the deeper you're drawing from your inner world, and you're using speech to do that. You're speaking things out. And you're really expressing things that are only known to you, that are within you, and you're allowing that to be shared with another. So when we say that Hashem spoke and the world is being created through God's speech, what we're saying is that the world, so to speak, is inside of God. Everything's inside of God. There's nothing but God. The act of speech is now the sharing with the creation. With God, it happens at the same time. It's being revealed and created at the same time. That which was only within is now coming outwards. You wouldn't have to speak if you were just on a deserted island with nobody there. You speak because you want to share with other. So speech becomes relevant as God is creating and drawing from the inside, so to speak, to now express outward to the creation. And that is happening, the mechanism that's happening through is the 22 Hebrew letters. That's the speech. So remember, like when Neo goes like loco at like the end of the Matrix, he just starts seeing all the things, starts seeing the code. So it was pretty good, but it's really Hebrew letters. That's the code that they saw. And really this is where quantum physics is getting, is they're understanding that matter is just information. It's information. And there's more empty space in the cellular matrix than solid space, which is just, that's a bug out. Really? Like this seems pretty solid, you know? If you ask me, excuse me, this is more empty space? Yeah. Our perspective has been made nitgashem, which means very physically oriented, but really this is more empty space than space. And in the empty space, the idea is that it's all information. It's information that's generating the space. It's generating everything. It's information, and it's really words and language. Okay, so that's all the introduction to this point. So says the Rebbe, Ushleimas adibur hu bechinas lashon hakodesh. It's through lashon hakodesh. Ki kol l'shoinas ha'amim hein chaserim. We speak about all the other languages that were flowing from lashon hakodesh. So if you open up the Torah, you see that by Migdal Bavel, the Tower of Babylon, so it says at that time that everybody was unified, the Safai Chas, that everybody spoke one language. Rashi says lashon kodesh. Afterwards, we know that they were rebelling against God, and God made a problem where He mixed up the languages. And people started fighting with each other because they couldn't understand, they couldn't communicate. And the world split to 70 languages after that. So from Migdal Bavel, there's one language, and then there's a split to 70 languages. They don't have that same level of purity as the language that God is creating the world with. Ki nikroim loshen ilgim. They're called a language of like stammering. Stammering means it's not quite 100% clear. Like when someone's communicating, but they're not able to articulate the very points they want to say. They kind of stammer a little bit or stutter. There's like a lack of full crystal clarity in the concept. When Adam Arishan was naming all the animals, he named them in Hebrew. And he called the animal what it is in its essence. It's a very powerful thing. He's calling the thing what it is. So every other description, so if I say a lion, it's very nice, but that's not as articulate as an aryeh. An aryeh is the thing. This is what this is, which means the aleph and the resh and the yud and the hey. This literally is what's happening here. If I understood the secrets, I would know that those letters put together in that fashion are creating this, which is a being of gevura and power and everything that the Arya represents. When I say lion, it's descriptive of it, but it's not it. It's not the thing itself. So Lashon Kodesh becomes the thing itself, and all the other languages become, and we're speaking English right now, all the other languages become less precise. Ve'ein shleimus rak l'Lashon HaKodesh. So now he takes a move. If Yaakov was here, we'd say he takes a move. He's about to make a move. Lashon HaKodesh hu makusha l'Shabbos. And Lashon HaKodesh is connected to Shabbos Kodesh. So this is some of the things we're learning by Rav Nosson, and this is, we're all going to see everything kind of tying in together. The bechinas v'daber davar. You know, it says that the Navi says you're not allowed to do certain things on Shabbos that you do during the weekdays. So it says, Shalo yehei diburcha shel Shabbos kediburcha shel chol. That the way that you speak on Shabbos should be different than the way that you speak during the week. So I'm just reading from the pasuk, Im toshe mishabbos raglecha, right? If you refrain on Shabbos from doing the normal things that you do, from walking in the way that you walk, v'chibadetoi, and you honor it ma'asais derachecha, from doing your drachim, mimtzai chefzecha, from doing the things that you want to do, meaning to say, the stuff that's without God. I gotta make these stock trades, and you didn't think about Hashem 1 second. So refrain from doing anything that's totally God absent. V'daber davar, and from speaking words that are just words of weekday matters. Okay, that's what the Navi says. Isn't that amazing? That on Shabbos that you get to a consciousness where you speak differently, you walk differently, you think differently, you do different things. Yeah, Adam?
It's in the Gemara we're learning.
Oh, Baruch Hashem. It's always a kiss from Hashem. Now, by the way, this is also brought down in the Mishnah Berurah, in the Eliyah Rabbah. If you look at the Mishnah Berurah, or Chaim, Simon Shin Zayin, Sifkot and Hey, in the Eliyah Rabbah, that he brings here, Anshe Maisa Nizharim Beyosim Izeh, people that are Anshe Maisa, Shaloi Ladaber B'Shabbos Afilu Devarim Ha'echreichem Ki Im B'Lashon HaKodesh. So we mentioned this yesterday. I wouldn't do this to family members. I don't understand what you're saying, son. Like, come back. What's become of you? So, even though, but I want to be anshe maaseh, of the righteous ones. You have to know how to be righteous and not a fool at the same time. So, but it's a powerful thing that you see even in halacha, that this is becoming gepaskin, that this is, whenever you see something in halacha, you have to understand that there's many layers of depth to that concept. So in this case, we see something in halacha of speaking Hebrew on Shabbos. Lashon Kodesh, we'll call it, not modern Hebrew. Lashon Kodesh. Now, Rav Nachman's telling you what's really going on. Because Lashon Kodesh is connected to Shabbos. It's deeply connected. And Lashon Kodesh is connected to Emes. And is connected to the three Shemus. And you start seeing, oh, that's why the halacha indicated such. But when you learn Chassidus, you see the whole backstory of what's going on. The bechinas koi sevarachu. Now this is amazing. Koi sevarachu. He's about to bring a beautiful, beautiful Rabbi Nachman weaving together all of Torah. Because Lashon HaKodesh is the language of blessing. We explained that, is there any greater blessing than creating a world? That's a pretty big blessing, right? That we're alive, that we're created. That's a very big blessing. So Lashon Kodesh is attached to blessing. And he brings an amazing proof from this. He's quoting from the Gemara in Sota. So the Gemara in Sota says, there's certain things that you're allowed to say in any language you want, and there's certain things that have to be said in Lashon HaKodesh. Which is fascinating. Can you daven in any language? Yeah. Spoidus for sure. We learned the whole piece on the Spoidus, that even ideal should be in Yiddish or in English, or whatever you speak. Ideally, that you can share things from your heart, that you can express what you're feeling. But there's certain things that have to be dafkan Lashon Kodesh, And the Gemara says one of them is Birkos Kohanim. That the Kohanim are not allowed to say, "You shall be blessed from Hashem. He will guard you." No, you can't do that. You're not allowed to. It has to be mamish lashon kodesh. It's a din. So koi sevarchu koi. This is how you shall bless, meaning the way that it says in the pasuk, b'lashon hakodesh. That Birkos Kohanim daf got to be in lashon hakodesh. Sheb'lashon hakodesh nichlal bracha v'kedusha, because in lashon hakodesh it's the essence of bracha and kedusha, and Birkos Kohanim is the stream of blessing coming into the world. Yevarechecha is parnasa, v'yishmerecha, that protected from the bad guys. That's what it is. Yo'er, and so forth. Yisa. That has to be in Lashon Kodesh, because Lashon Kodesh is bracha, and Lashon Kodesh is kedusha. It's kedusha. Ki b'Lashon HaKodesh mekusha l'Shabbos, and Lashon HaKodesh is connected to Shabbos. And what's Shabbos? Bracha and kedusha. Because what do we say? Shnei Rabbi bracha kedusha k'may shekosav. Vayevarach Elokim es yom hashvi vayikadesh Isai. Say it in Kiddush. Vayikadesh Isai. You say this Kiddush. So you see that Shabbos has bracha and kedusha. Lashon Kodesh is bracha and kedusha. Yeah, so far so good. So he's tying in here together that Shabbos is connected to Lashon HaKodesh, connected to bracha. And this is going to be the way that we're bringing down the energy from the three names of God into all of our speech, which obviously we see here that one of the ways to tap into being a person of true speech is going to be Shabbos. V'al kein, and therefore al yedei shaloshon hakodesh mekusha l'Shabbos, al kein al yedei shleimus hadibur, through complete speech, i.e., that the names of Kel, Elokim, and Havayah are shining into my four parts of speech. Shu b'chinas lashon hakodesh, al yedei zeh mamshichan hasimcha shel Shabbos l'sheishes yemei hachol. Okay, he's making another move now. Now the move is, and this is really starting what we're doing in Reb Nosson, is I don't want to just have Shabbos end when I make Havdalah. Because you know what? The days of the week are hard. The days of the week are not easy. The days of the week are not easy. In a certain way, being in yeshiva is like just being in Shabbos. It's like the Shabbos of our life. But the days of the week are not easy. Speak to people out there that are, and we all have this, obviously, even here, but people that are in the days of the week type of life, it's a real hustle. That's like a nice way to say it. There's challenges. It's not easy. It's not pasha. And even those that have Shabbos, but after Havdalah, there's like, they used to call it the smoker's minyan, like the 18-minute, like Ma'ariv. So I think it's like nowadays they call it like the social media minyan. Like it's just I gotta get back. I gotta get back on my Facebook. I gotta check the Instagram. I gotta see like what's going on. Was tut sich in the Welt. I have to see like what is that. I can't. So that's the days of the week. The days of the week are like drawing, and some of the worst words ever that I think creeped into the vernacular of a human being could be 4 words. Is Shabbos over yet? Oh. Now, I don't mean like there's some very important malacha that has to be done, and like we're not talking about that. We're talking about like is it over yet? Like that's the niggin. You hear the niggin of like is it over yet? Because I have an important malacha to do. Or is it over yet? You hear the niggin? It's a different niggin entirely. That's the niggin of I just got to get back to the days of the week. Those days of the week. And therefore the ore of Shabbos, this blessing of Shabbos, the unity of Shabbos, is like having a hard time pushing into the week. And during the week, people get confused and lost in something that we're going to learn about a lot, called the Pu'ulas Mishtanas. Okay, the Pu'ulas, you got to have that on the tips of your tongue, the Pu'ulas Mishtanas. So just remember this language, the Pu'ulas Mishtanas. The Pu'ulas Mishtanas mean all of this world. Pu'ulot means all the actions and everything, Mishtanas, that are the unique things of this world. The colorful world around us. The very interesting parts and the great multiplicity of this world that gets us lost. The Pu'ulas Mishtanas of this world. And the Pu'ulas Mishtanas of this world are challenging, not to lose oneself in it. You see people who are working like it, I'm saying like what most people are doing, sitting in an office somewhere, on the phone, making calls, and they're stressed out. Where do you think happy hour came from? People are just bugging out in the Pu'ulas Mishtanas, in the 6 days of the week, in the weekday of life. And they're just money things and bills, and they're just like, I'm drowning in work. That's the Shetiv Maim Rabbim, that's the Mabel. We're going to talk about Noach coming up soon. That Noach is Shabbos. Noach is that which saves us from the bilbul and the flood of this world. But the 6 days of the week, that world of the 6 days of the week, of the Sheishis Yomim, Tase Kol Malachtecha, that's a very difficult world. And we lose ourselves in it. And it's a depressing world if we don't bring the light of Shabbos into it. But if we can bring the light of Shabbos and the pleasure of Shabbos into the 6 days, then not only is the 6 days not bad, the 6 days is unbelievable. Because you realize there's no B'di'evid, and then we can reveal Hashem in every single part of the Pu'ulas Mishtanas, and this is really the tikkun of the Eitz Hadas Chevera. I want to fix the Eitz Hadas Chevera. What do you think we're here? Just to live in Eitz Chaim land? We have to go fix the Eitz Hadas. A lot of work to do. We have to bring those Shabbos into the week, into the Pu'ulas Mishtanas. So this is what the Rebbe says. That through Shabbos Kodesh and through Lashon Kodesh and through the Shemus of Kel Elokim Havayah, we could bring the energy. This is a whole technology. We can bring the energy of Bracha and Kedusha into the 6 days of the week. So look what the Rebbe says. The days of the week have a level of, we don't like this word, the D word, depression. That's a red line. We don't cross that line as a Jew. You can have a broken heart, like the Kotzker Rabbi said. There's nothing more whole than a broken heart. There's nothing more whole than a broken heart. Because when it's broken a bit, you can start feeling. It's like that heart starts oozing out. Love that heart. Love that. The bad thing is when it's not broken, it's all like stone and like locked up. Got to break that stone a bit, chisel it away, open that up. Oh, that heart vibe. Oh, finally. That heart can just like vibe, It's been so like stony. I haven't been vibing with it for just years. Some people you could feel, and they'll say like, I have not vibed with my heart. I don't even know what that means, to vibe with my heart. It's like locked up. Sometimes like it's hard like to hug, like it's like, I'm not vibing. I don't know what even that word means. This is all just awkward. So you got to crack the heart open. Start vibing. I sound like a hippie right now, I know. There's a lot of hippie in here. A lot of hippie. When the heart can open up So when the heart can open up in a healthy way, then that's not called depression. That's called a beautiful thing. That's called Shviras Halev. But the days of the week are challenging. Now he's going to tell us something in Kabbalah. So you have to speak to the tzaddikim to see what this means. It says, "Afilu ha-mitzvahs she'osim b'mei achol hem b'chinas atzvos." Even the mitzvahs we do during the week are very challenging. And in a certain, very deep way, the mitzvahs during the week only come to Hashem, so to speak, on Shabbos. They get an aliyah on Shabbos. Meaning, the experience of the mitzvahs throughout the entire week, as good as your mincha was, as good as your tefillin is, there's something that is still locked up, and when Shabbos comes, the experience and the closeness with you and God opens up from those weekday experiences. That tefillin from your Wednesday morning is now opening up on Shabbos. And he's going to explain a little bit how this works. Now, what we're describing here, there's nothing physical. This is all conceptual. So don't come to any hagshama, God forbid, and think that there's people up there in heaven. This is all conceptual. So he brings something in Kabbalah. You have to talk to the tzaddikim. Ki matat. There's an angel called Matat. I think he was a transformer also. He was the like the top guy. Was he? So Lahavdil, Elef Alfi Avdalas. So Matat is the top. He's the top angel. And he's called Shaltanui. He's the Sholet. He's like the boss up there. Bimeachol. He's only the boss of the gates during the weekdays. Matat. Now, if somebody's the boss up there of the gates, and they can keep the gates locked, so they're the boss. But we want to be able to open the gates to go to the king. We don't want the gates to be locked. Now, it's good sometimes you have to keep the riffraff out, so it's good having the gates locked. And there needs to be, Yankee guarding the Rebbe Chimayr, to make sure that everything stays in a Seder. So you need someone guarding the gates. You always need someone guarding the gates. Umetatu b'chinas eved. The metat, though, this angel is like an eved. He's an eved. B'chinas atzvus. And there's an element of atzvus, of an eved. He's doing what the king says, faithfully, but the relationship is still distant. He's not a son of the king. He's not a prince. He's an eved. He's the top eved. He's a minister. He's the top. But there's an element of distance in the relationship. So he runs the gates during the days of the week. However, Shabbos, hu b'chinas ben, Shabbos, our relationship with Hashem, is not as an eved to a melech. It's as a ben, a son to a father, which is Avinu Balkeinu. It's the same, but during the week, the relationship is more towards a king, an Eved, like Matat. Whereas on Shabbos, it's like a Ben. And the Ben could just walk through Yankee. He could just walk right in. He doesn't have to wait for... Nobody guards the doors from the Ben. The Ben could just walk right in. The Ben could just walk right in. As neichel le'iloin v'tatoin, that in Shabbos there's peace in all the worlds, above and below. When it's oira simcha, because there's such peace, then simcha gets aroused. V'azayin is roimin v'nis'al kol hamitzvos shel sheish l'me'achol min ha'atzvos. Because it's such a happiness up there in Shemayim on Shabbos, there's peace, so the gates get opened and all the bracha comes in. And basically, the way we understand, in my small understanding of these Torahs, is that during the week, so Matat is guarding the gates. But the king wants a relationship with us. But Matat has to just do his job and keep things closed up. But on Shabbos, the king himself walks out and he opens up the gate. So Matat doesn't stand in the way. And the king himself comes up, so now the gate is open and all of the energy just flows in to Tati. That's Shabbos. That's Shabbos. And therefore, v'az nisroimin v'nis'alan kol ha'mitzvos shel sheish me'achol min ha'atzos v'nimshach aleim menucha v'simcha v'bechinas v'yoylid ben v'yikra shemoy noyach. And this is all the energy of Noach. The Zohar says that Noach is Shabbos. Noach is Shabbos, like a lashon of menucha. Like menucha, simcha, like Yehudim. That's menucha is Noach. That's Mama Shabbos. And it says that when Noach was born, it says Ze yenachamenu, that this one will give us nechama. This one will make us at peace. Memaseinu u'meitzvon yodenu, and from our depression, our itzvon yodenu. That this one, this Noach, which is really Shabbos, that Noach will bring us to a place of peace. That we're not going to be lost in the 6 days of the week anymore. This is about leaving the 6 days of the week. Zeh bechinas Shabbos. Shebechinas ben, bechinas Noach, which is Noach, naicha de la iloin v'tatoin. Shehu menachem mesameach hakol min ha'atzos bechinas zeh yenachamenu. This one will bring us nechama. This one will bring us nechama. So let's just finish this piece until Vav. Because when we can get to Lashon HaKodesh, Shemekushra the Shabbos, which is like we said, Shabbos Lashon HaKodesh. Shabbos is unified. Shabbos is Kodesh. Shabbos is Bracha, Kihi Mekora Bracha. In Lashon HaKodesh, there's that which can only come in Lashon HaKodesh, which is Bracha, which is Yevarechecha, which is the whole creation of the world, which is the greatest Bracha. Olam Chesed Yiboneh, through the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Because which is connected to Shabbos, as a mamshichan al yodai, through the Lashon HaKodesh, then you bring the kedusha and the simcha of Shabbos l'sheishus hame'achol. Meaning, what we want to do on Shabbos, we want to take the energy of Shabbos and start to be mashpia into the week. The unity, the bracha of Shabbos, we want it not to end at Havdalah. We want it to spill into the week. That's why the tzaddikim made a big thing of Malav Malka. And they made a big thing of making their Shalashudas is go into the days of the week. Toisef is Shabbos. The Toisef is Meruba ala Iker. The Toisef is the adding on, which is the power of Yosef at Tzaddik. Which is, Yosef at Tzaddik is the one that's going to take on Esav. Which is interesting, that they were only able to leave the base Lavan once Yosef was born. Once Yosef is born and mature, Yosef is now going to be the koyach that could take on Esav, that could take on the Sheishes Yemei HaMaaseh, only through the Shalashudas, which is called Toisefes Shabbos, which is called adding on to Shabbos, right? What's the first meal of Shabbos? Friday night. It's really connected to Yitzchak. The morning meal is Avram. Shalashudas is Yaakov. So where's Yosef? Yosef is adding on to Shalashudas. Yosef means to be Mosif, to add on, to make long Shalashudas. It's Toisefes Shabbos. And then who comes after Yosef? David Melech. He then mamish, when it's mamish dark, David HaMelech takes his sword and slays the dragon, boys. Slay the dragon. That's David HaMelech. But David HaMelech's getting his koyach from Yosef. That's Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David. Mashiach ben Yosef is adding on to Shalashudas. And that koyach is paving the way, going into the darkness, expanding from Shabbos. But then the one who's in the 6 days, that's Mashiach ben David. That's Malav Malka. That's why those two Sudas, which are usually the ones that get the least PR with the Chevera, Friday night, Kiddush. I mean Kiddush club stuff. Who does shalashudas? You're a bunch of, guys in, I don't even want to say, slides and t-shirt and shorts or something. Where's the tzitzis, bro? Where's your tzitzis? No, shalashudas. Shalashudas. It's going to save the world, shalashudas. That's the or of Yosef Atzadik. It's going into the week. That's Yosef Atzadik. It's going to take on all of Esav and David Melech. David Malk Mashiach. Yeah, shalashudas. Malav Malk, like pizza with the girls. Malava Malka? Girls, I only mean your wife and daughters. The girls. Pizza's great. It's hot food, Malav Malka. Choshev thing, yeah, Adam.
With the bride of Shabbos.
That's right. It's I'm escorting the bride out. I'm escorting out the bride. That is the female energy that you want to be connected to. Love Malka.
This week's parsha.
That's right. So what do we say today, my dear friends? And we'll just finish this inyan because we're going to go into this big topic of taking Shabbos into the week. Taking Shabbos into the week is going to be a very big topic for us. So the Rabbi just finishes here. Shumakush the Shabbos as mamshichan al yodai as a kedusha v'simcha shel Shabbos l'sheish lemeachol kimat b'shalosh nakoyim mekush the Shabbos al kei nimshach al yodai as simcha shel Shabbos l'sheish lemeachol v'zeh, and these three shemus that have the or of Emes, Kel, Elokim, Havayah, Diber. What's the gematria? 349. Imatevis, 353, is Mispar Simcha. That these three names, i.e. Kel, Elokim, Havayah, with the letters, the words themselves, this itself is the Simcha. The simcha of Shabbos Kodesh, the simcha of the Emes, the truth of Shabbos, that you want to shine into the week. We're going to bring the simcha into the week. So what do we say so far today? We said that through the Emes, to be people of truth, that through Kel, Elokim, and Havayah, these are the names of truth, and these Kel corresponds to davening, and Elokim is Torah, to know that the Emes of Torah, that Torah is going to guide my life, and anything that's going on in my life, any challenge that I am facing, I could find guidance and truth through the Torah. And then I know that Shidduchim is Emes, that Hashem is organizing, He's Mishadech, and being Mezavik Zivugim, He's organizing every single thing, and that's Emes, and I know the truth of that. And I become less of an upset person because I see that Hashem is organizing all the relationships, and that's all Emes, and that truth is shining into all of my speech, that my speech is filled with truth. And we said that the most articulate essence of speech is Lashon Kodesh, that Hashem is creating the whole world with Lashon Kodesh. It's the fabric of creation, and therefore when it happened to the bracha of Lashon HaKodesh and the kedusha of Lashon HaKodesh, we said that's the essence of Shabbos, that some people would only speak Lashon Kodesh on Shabbos. And that if I can tap into the or of Shabbos and the simcha and the blessing and the goodness and the love and the passion of Shabbos Kodesh, then, as we're going to see, I don't get lost in the 6 days of the week. I'm bringing that or into the 6 days of the week, that the whole week is like Shabbos. That Hayom Rishon b'Shabbos, Yom Shein b'Shabbos, Yom Revi b'Shabbos. That my whole life becomes like Shabbos, and that I don't lose myself in the Pu'ulus Mishtanas. I don't lose myself in Times Square with all the billboards that are not yet Daf Yomi yet. B'Siyata D'Shmaya. We're looking for donors, and B'Siyata D'Shmaya, we're going to learn a very, very big piece here, all about making your week not a week that you get lost in, not a week that you get depressed in, but a week that you get rejuvenated from, a week that you become electrified from, that the week that's filled with the passion and the or of Shabbos and the simcha of Shabbos, that you're no longer fooled by the lies of the 6 days of the week. And you're not afraid of the 6 days of the week either, that you go in with confidence into the 6 days of the week because you have Yosef at Tzaddik, by your side. You have David HaMelech, Mamish, fighting the dragons with you. You have the Or of Shabbos Kodesh. So we're going to be learning about fighting dragons and slaying dragons together. Yeah, it's all here in the Torah. They got it all from us. We're going to learn about going into the 6 days of the week, B'siyat D'Shmaya, with the Or of David HaMelech, with the Or of Shabbos Kodesh, to know how to navigate these days of the week. Because Hashem understands. He set up 6 days of the week, which is really the Eitz Adas Tovara. But I don't want to get lost in the sauce of the Eitz Adas Tovara. No, I don't know what's Tov, what's Ra. I'm so confused with the 6 days of the week. I'm drowning in my work. I'm drowning. I'm just trying to, I'm getting by, bro. I'm barely making it. That we want you to be thriving in the 6 days of the week. And the way to do that, I'm not going to say to take the Or of Shabbos and shine it into the week. And we're going to talk all about that. And then we're going to be learning that the 6 days of the week, which is all about this universe is all emanating out of Shabbos, which is the unity, which is Hashem. We should be Zoich HaMamish to understand all the Torahs of the Tzadikim, Amitim, and B'siyat D'Shmaya, see the Or of Shabbos Kodesh, the Yom Shekula Shabbos, the great days of Shabbos, of Olam Haba, should be shining. We should be Zoich to see es Chayecha, to see Elokim b'Chayecha, to see our eternal life even here now in the Yom Shekula Shabbos. Amen ve'amen. Oh, Ashreinu Matov Yokeinu Manayim Go'alei. Oh, yeah, Ashreinu Matov. Oh, Manayim Go'alei. Shachris.